Hey, happy Sunday. I was going to say Friday. I'm so mixed up on my days. I always am. If you're a work from home and you get mixed up in your days, let me know in the comments because it happens to me all the time. But no, happy Sunday, guys, and happy Mastering Your Money finale. Day 7 already. Have you guys been watching the other videos? Let me know what your favorite video was or your top takeaways this week has been. But guys, I am so excited that you've been joining me. So many of you have been dropping in throughout the week. My battery says it's dying, so just give me 1 second. I gotta throw my phone in. As you're tuning in, say hi. Let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. Let me know, like when you're saying hi, let me know if you are watching from the profile or the event or live from my from your what is it called? Facebook stories. Can't think this evening. But let me know where you're tuning in, guys, and let me know if you are ready for this finale, because I'm telling you, I'm excited to share this with you. Hey, Sherry. So, guys, as we've been kind of going through the week, Monday we were talking about understanding your finances and kind of the basics. We talked about savings. We talked about where to kind of gather those extra savings and how to also get out of your debts, lower your debt load, and start being able to bring down your expenses. We talked about also your credit, how to build that credit score up, and different variations to help you do that, whether you've already had credit and kind of struggling to keep it in a good standing, or whether you've never had credit before. We talked about that on Thursday. Then Friday, we talked about investments and the different types of investments that may be things that you want to look into. And then yesterday, we talked about how important it is to insure your assets and your investments as well. So today, we're going to wrap up the week and we are talking about managing your money. So managing your finances kind of comes down to the nitty-gritty budget, and we're not going to go into how to build a budget because I'm going to be offering you guys a course option at the end of this if you decide to do that. However, I wanted to give you the basics of what a budget includes. For a lot of you who reach out to me, a lot of you are struggling with that. You're not really sure how to tweak it. Maybe you've just kind of been flying by the seat of your pants. A lot of us have been there in the past, so don't feel bad, but there is hope for you. Whether or not you have a lot of debt or not, it doesn't matter. Budgets are really important regardless of your income level and your situation, whether you're working outside of the home or whether you are a business owner, home business owner. So there's just so many different options. So I just wanted to get into, I made notes because I always go off on tangents sometimes. But hey, Pat. So as you're thinking about budgeting, one thing I always recommend to my clients is to encourage you to include everyone in your household in the process. And you may think, okay, but I have kids. Well, if your kids are really little, you can kind of dumb it down a little bit for them, but they don't need to know the nitty-gritty part. But it's important for them to kind of understand from an early age. It's really important to instill those values in them, to start thinking about saving money, and of course, letting them know. Even if you can show them, we used to show the kids with change, and so of course you don't leave them with it because kids and change is just a bad combination. But showing them, like, if you have this many pennies, you can buy this many candies, and just kind of teaching them the basics from early on really does help instill that money mindset of managing their money from an early age. But as your family's growing older, it's still important, regardless of age, to include them in the process of budgeting. The reason for that is because when everybody in the household is kind of on the same wavelength, you have less kind of nagging for, extra purchases usually, because of the fact that they're part of that process. And it kind of gives them a sense of empowerment as well, to know that they're being included. It's not something that you need to close the doors. A lot of parents think that they can't include their family with that because of the fact that they're concerned that, if they have financial struggles or things like that, that it will put stress or worry on their child. So I don't recommend, of course, going into that sort of details with them. That's not necessary, but including them in the budgeting process is definitely important. With budgeting, you want to think about budgeting for your sufficiency. So the key to making a budget work is to ensure that it meets your needs. If you are under projecting, I guess we'll say forecasting, under forecasting for for instance, your groceries. So say you are making your budget and you have set down a set rate of $150 a week for your grocery purchases. Well, if you happen to be on average spending $200, then what happens is your budget's going to be out of balance, because your budget's going to think that you're only needing $150 a week, which is $600 a month, and then you're going to actually be going over. So what happens is it has to compensate somewhere else. So it starts pulling money from other areas that you have already designated that income for. And so what happens is it all throws everything off. So there is an easy way to balance that. And it's really important to be able to kind of understand the basics of that, to be able to ensure that your household is really taken care of. Another way of part of budgeting, of course, is to balance your budget rather, is to cut out either expenses or increase your income. So if you're finding that at the end of the month you're running out of money, and whether you're budgeting or not yet, and you're finding that you're really struggling to ensure that all of your expenses are covered, then that means that one of two options is available to you. One, either you need to find an increase of income, so you can either pick up a side gig, or you may be able to pick up extra shifts at work, or if you are a home salesperson, then maybe it means just trying to reach out to more people, build your clientele more faster. Whatever the case is, to increase that income. Or the other option is you may want to look at decreasing some of your expenses. What are some things that you can cut out? So that's kind of the two options when it comes to an imbalanced budget, to be able to think about that, to be able to get the bottom line aligned. And so there is a little bit of a balance there, and a little bit of a juggling act kind of that goes on in the initial get-go, especially when you're first setting it up. But that's what I'm here for. And this course that I'm going to be launching in a couple of weeks, launching tonight, but we're going to be starting in a couple of weeks, is going to be able to allow me to be hands-on with you, to be able to work with what you are currently spending, working with what you currently have coming in, creating a budget that works for you, and then tweaking it as we go along. So I'm really excited to be able to offer you guys that kind of unique opportunity, and it's really cool because this is something that's accessible to not only my local clients, but any of you guys tuning in online as well, from wherever you're tuning in from, because budgeting is very universal. So it's something that I'm really passionate about, and I'm excited to be able to help you guys with that, because it's one of the biggest stress causers throughout North America and beyond. The other thing we talked about too is, in addition to making adjustments, is sometimes it means selling off, if you have a gas guzzler for a vehicle, or maybe your mortgage is just, you're struggling too much to be able to cover that mortgage payment. Maybe it means either refinancing, or perhaps it means to, unfortunately, sell off the home, look at a selling option and looking to downsize into a smaller, more affordable home. So there are just so many different aspects. Of course, you don't necessarily have to go into it that deep when it comes to your budgeting, but I just wanted to kind of give you guys some ideas to kind of get the wheels turning as to some different options, depending on how stressful your situation is. If it's just kind of like you're feeling like you're not really imbalanced and you're not really tracking where your money's going, budgeting is, of course, important no matter, what your situation is. But if you're really, really out of whack and you're just kind of at the point where you're just, kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul kind of situation, or maybe you're just like, not paying anything at all right now because you're just stressed to the max, whatever the case is, there's so many different levels on the spectrum that I talk to my clients about. So I think that this is going to be really beneficial to you no matter where you are on the spectrum, whether you're not in debt or whether you are severely in debt. Then the budget is definitely going to be a helpful first step for you. The next thing also that I talk to my clients about and encourage when you're managing your money is making sure that you have that emergency fund. I know we talked about that on Tuesday, I believe it was, when we talked about the savings, but that emergency fund, of course, the minimum, like I mentioned that day, is that you want to ensure that you have a month and a half's worth of the monthly nut, as we called it, per person in your household. Now that's the bare minimum, okay? So I don't want you to strive for that, but if you're not saving at all, then obviously you want to strive that, because that's giving you that first bar to set it at. However, beyond that, I highly encourage you to aim for saving 3 to 6 months worth of emergency funds, just because that is kind of like the universal amount that everyone kind of recommends that you have saved up for emergency purposes. Now, that could be that, if you had a sickness or an injury, then you have the loss of work, or, heaven forbid, there was a death in the family, or anything like that, guys. Just things that just arise that you just don't expect. Maybe your vehicle goes kaput and you need a new motor in it, and that is kind of like your vital thing to be able to get to work. There's so many different things that can happen. So that budgeting for those expenses is really important. So part of your budget, we're going to be also looking at savings and including that as part of your whole plan. So we're going to be budgeting for your income. We're going to be budgeting based on your expenses. We're going to be balancing those things. And we're also going to be planning for the unforeseen, and we're going to be budgeting for your emergencies and your savings and your future. So those are the different things when you're thinking about managing your money, but budgeting is the main hub of managing your money to ensure that you are having all of those things, your investments, your credit cards, your debts, your income, all of it is covered, your insurance. And so that's why I'm really passionate about budgeting, because that is like the nitty gritty. So, okay, getting back to the course. Okay, so you've gone through this week, and if you have missed any videos throughout the mini-series, I encourage you to go back and watch those replays. They are going to be accessible to you for probably about, I'm going to say 2 weeks, and I'm going to leave those videos up for everyone to have access to. After that, they're going to be archived into my Hope Meadows private coaching community. So if you're already a member, that it's going to be available to you long term. If you aren't yet a member, that's going to be an option for you as well. That is a $30 Canadian per month subscription, and there's just so many different additional things that are offered there. I will drop the link to that in the description of this video after I post it, just in case you guys want to go check out the About section. It breaks it down into more detail as to what exactly is included in there. $30 Canadian right now, just so my US viewers can kind of understand, that breaks down to about $23 and some change, plus taxes, of course, for you. And getting to the course itself for budgeting, the Budgeting Basics course is what I am launching for you guys today. If you want to take it a step further, if you've already done the mini series and you're still kind of like, okay, this is great information, but now what? How do I really put all of this into action? You know, maybe you're just kind of feeling like you're kind of throwing darts at the dartboard and it's just kind of hitting all over the place, but you really need to hone it in. So if you don't currently have a budget, then I highly encourage you and invite you to join us for this Budgeting Basics course. What that's going to include, first of all, it's $20 Canadian. That's approximately $15 and change American right now. It's going to include step-by-step training. So it's going to be hands-on, guys. It's not going to be like where you're just dropped in or sent a PDF in your email and you're like, okay, now what do I do? It's not going to be like that. It's going to be taking place in a Facebook training pod. It's going to be a secret pod on Facebook. In addition to that, it's also going to be archived through Hope University, which is going to be your unique link. You're going to have a unique link to be able to access that through the web. So this course is going to be accessible to you through mobile devices as well as your computer, whichever you decide to use that for. It's going to be hands-on coaching. That means I'm going to be in there with you, so you're not going to be on your own. By all means, there's going to be opportunities to have live Q&A, opportunities within the course as well. You're going to receive daily live trainings on the budgeting, more specifically breaking it down step by step. And in addition to that, what's going to be cool is because a lot of people say to me, okay, well, you know, depends on the time of day when I can tune into the live. Well, the great thing is because it's going to be archived, you're going to be able to watch the replays at your leisure. So that provides you with the opportunity, no matter what your schedule is, to be able to tap into that, which is going to be really awesome. The course is also going to include budgeting tools, worksheets, and so many other printables for you guys to ensure that you have everything that you need to be able to put your budget in action and in place right now through the course. You're also going to have lifetime access. So providing Facebook is around forever, which I assume that it is because it just continues to grow, you're going to have unlimited lifetime access to the course once you purchase it for the $20 Canadian. And if for some reason, God forbid, Facebook disappears on us, it's going to be archived through the web, through the Hope University as well. So you're going to have access no matter where it is that you're tuning in from. So even if you have friends or family that you know could utilize this course and they're not already on Facebook, they don't have to join Facebook to get access to the course. It's totally okay. They can access all of the materials and worksheets and everything directly through Hope University when they purchase that. So the other thing is there's going to be free bonuses, guys, that I'm going to be announcing throughout the course. They'll be announced within there. Just some extras that I'm going to be throwing in along the way just because of the fact that I love giving away things as well. So that is going to be the course for you guys for budgeting, to take you through step by step. $20 Canadian, $15 plus change US. I'm going to be dropping the link for that inside the event page, which you can see by clicking on the event page just above in the description of this video. And as well, I will update the description of the video with the link as well. Now, on top of that, I've had some people reaching out to me and they're like, okay, the course sounds really great. However, I really want to check out your Hope Meadows private coaching community with all the extras that comes with that. So the bonus for you guys is if you want to choose that option, then it's only $10 more. So you get 1 month access to the Hope Meadows coaching community. You can kind of check that out, access all the information in there and anything that's added this coming month, as well as you'll get the course with all of the features that I just mentioned. And that's only $30 Canadian. That breaks down to approximately $23 US. The other option is some people have reached out to me as well. Some of you have said that you would like to have some one-on-one consultations. So whether you want that by phone or video, just to have me kind of walking through with you even more beyond the course. Maybe there's specific questions even unrelated to budgeting that you need help with in addition to the budgeting course. So you can purchase the course as well as a bundle that includes 3 one-on-one coaching calls. And again, you can choose whether that's by phone or video, and they're accessible no matter where you are, and that is $110 package Canadian, and that breaks down to approximately $84 US. Right now with the exchange it varies a little bit. And then the alternative to that is maybe you don't need the budgeting course at all. Maybe you feel like you already have the handle on the budgeting. So for those of you who've reached out to me with that, I am offering you guys 3 one-on-one coaching calls, and that's $99 Canadian, which breaks down to approximately $76 US. So there's so many different options, guys, whether you want the course for the $20 or you want the course plus the Hope Meadows coaching community for the $30, or maybe you want the course and the one-on-one coaching calls with the 3 of those, that's 110 Canadian, or maybe you just, like I said, want that one-on-one time, 3 calls for the 99. There's so many different options. I'm going to be dropping the links in the description of the video as well as in the event page for those of you who want to tune in and tap into any of those. I highly encourage you to. As well, there is a free option for you to check out Hope Meadows for 5 days, and the link for that I will drop in there as well. That allows you kind of to, regardless of whether you want the course or not, you can kind of check out the community for the 5 days and then decide whether or not it's right for you. By doing that, you also have access to a free 20-minute consultation with me, and that can be about health or finances, whatever your decision is, something that you need my help one-on-one with, that's an option for you as well. So whether you're joining us for the course or not, I invite you to take advantage of these different options available to you, and I look forward to working with you guys more one-on-one. I hope you've enjoyed this week for mini-series Mastering Your Money. I hope you've had some kind of aha moments. Let us know in the comments or in the event page what those things are. Hey, as you're tuning in, say hi. And it's just been such a pleasure sharing these things with you and having the conversations this week with you guys on and offline. It's been amazing, and it's been such a joy for me to be able to give you that, guys, that information, empower you guys with that. Finances is one of those things, like I've mentioned before, that can cause so much stress in a person's life, and so it's so amazing when I can kind of relieve and kind of let you guys breathe easier. That is one of my main goals here and purposes here on the earth, is to be able to help you breathe easier, provide you some hope, and provide you some more happiness. So increase your joy equilibrium there. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and if you feel that this video or the series would help somebody, please feel free to share it or invite them to the series. Like I said, the videos will be archived in there for the next 2 weeks, and then after that they're going to be archived into the Hope Meadows coaching community. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And just finally, before I let you go, if you are already a paid member of the Down Home Mama community, the course for you is actually free. So reach out to myself or Shalina Harris and we will give you more information on that. Take care, guys, and talk to you soon.